Hello, friends, and welcome to the newest installment of Wednesday Night Mayhem. Don't adjust your volumes. Yes, it is indeed Anthony Florio, your host for this evening. I am sitting in tonight for good old MF Michael Fletcher, who will not be joining us this evening due to work commitments beyond his control. I am, however, joined by our elite panel as always, the Phenom Michael Bullock. We also have the Twisted Angel Didi Woodson. So we're going to dedicate this show to MF here tonight, and we're going to do him proud like we always do. So MF, this one's for you, buddy. So you know how we do it here on Wednesday Night Mayhem. If you're not familiar, we will review AEW Dynamite. We will also review NXT, and there's nothing more to say, folks. Let's dive right on in. First up, AEW Dynamite, as always on TNT, live tonight from the Curtis Colwell Center in Garland, Texas, with Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur as always. And we started it off. And now here's the thing. With me running this show here tonight, if I see a cutout, I'm calling it. So I know MF likes to get into every nook and cranny and detail and everything, and I get it. But no, not on my watch. So first things first, John Moxley, he squashed this guy, Alex Reynolds, squashed him in 12 seconds. But then the Inner Circle interrupted, and Jericho tried to offer John Moxley a spot in the Inner Circle, but Moxley obviously didn't do anything. And I'll say like this: the match is obviously a cutout, but as far as what happened after the match goes, it was a strong opening to the show with Moxley plowing through his opponent, followed by the Jericho offer. And I like that they left it hanging rather than just rush into Moxley hitting Jericho with his finisher. It's also nice to see a video package on the tag team feud. AEW needs to do more video package to bring new viewers or viewers who don't watch every week up to speed. So that's really all there is to say on that. So match obviously a cutout. Bullock or Didi, do you want to get into what happened afterwards? That little segment with Inner Circle trying to entice John Moxley.
Yeah, the thing is, you could see that they were trying to. Well, Jericho was basically trying to get John Moxley to join the Inner Circle, but yeah, it's basically leaving us to believe will it happen? Well, you never know with the mind of John Moxley, so we'll just wait and see what happens. But I'll just say, in my opinion, with the history of Jericho and Moxley, I just don't see that happening. So, Dee, do you want to go quick?
I think it's kind of funny. Jericho kind of threw in Renee Young without actually saying her name.
Oh, yeah, right.
He said, go take some time, talk it over with your lovely wife. So, yeah. And we all kind of know from the big match Moxley had not long ago, the street fight or where anything goes, unsanctioned match, that she wasn't real happy about how that one went. So I'm sure she's probably not going to be real happy about this one either. So, yeah. I don't think Moxley will join, but you never know. He is, as they were calling him in WWE, the lunatic. So he still is, even as Moxley. So, yeah. Nothing else I have to say. It's yours, Florio.
Yes, indeed. So let's get into our first match of the evening. It was a tag team match. The Butcher and the Blade, accompanied by the Bunny, Allie. They squared off against Cody and QT Marshall. Butcher and the Blade win the match in an even 11 minutes. Michael Bullock, Butcher and the Blade, they get the win. QT Marshall taking the fall.
Yeah, I'll give it about 3 stars for the match. It was a good, solid match, but yeah, the Butcher and the Blade. I mean, looking really impressive, and yeah, and the Bunny. Guess we could say Florio, she left her mark on Cody. Literally, I mean, literally raking the eyes. I mean, with her nails. I mean, oof.
Ooh,
Who wants to be on the end of that?
not me, boy.
Especially with how sick she can be. Oof. I mean, it's bad enough that you get your eyes raked by a wrestler, but you get your eyes raked by a woman with those kinds of nails. Yeah, that's one I certainly wouldn't want to take. And if I know Dee Dee Woodson, she probably would say, "Sorry, Bunny, I'm taking you to the woodshed, and because you need to suffer for what you just did." So, and I gotta say it, Florio. Somewhere back there, MJF had to be smiling like a cocky, arrogant. Well, you know what? Because as we already knew, he was the one that sent these two after Cody. So you know he's gonna be laughing his ass off. So, 3-star match. Dee Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm not going to address Bunny because that would definitely go into the woodshed. So yeah, we're not going to address her. But yeah, this was I thought it was a pretty good match. I'm going to give it about 3.25 stars. The crowd was hot. Everybody was fired up. Cody was fired up, and Marshall gave a very good performance. And Butcher and Blade, they definitely delivered for their debut, and they did a good job. Coming out with the win, and Cody made them look good all the way through it. So yeah, I really have nothing negative to say about the match. It was a very good match. These guys, they came out and they gave us their A game. So yeah, I have nothing else to say. It's yours, Florio.
Yes, indeed. 3 to 3.25 stars. It was nice to see the live crowd rally behind Marshall, but it was perfectly logical for him to take the pin in this match to help establish the new tag team. It was also an interesting development with Darby Allin coming out to help Cody up, with the idea being that they are forming an alliance. And while the size of the AEW crowds may vary, they continue to play to lively and passionate crowds wherever they go. So, solid. That's all there is to say on that. And now MJF comes out. He does the promo here. MJF and Wardlow. MJF cuts the promo basically responding to Cody. Cody, you remember Cody on the last show asked, basically called out and challenged MJF to a match down the road. He put his, he said, you could have my car, you could have my watch or what have you, $50,000 of my money. Just respond. And then MJF says, well, no. Well, he said, yes, it's going to happen. But here's the thing. There's going to be stipulations, but at the same time, the stipulations, he says he's not going to announce the stipulations until New Year's night. Yeah, we got to wait 3 long weeks to find out the stipulation of this future match, which will obviously take place sometime in the new year when Cody and MJF square off. So that's really all there was to say on that. So, Dee Dee Woodson, your thoughts on MJF's promo, and we're gonna have to wait 3 weeks to find out what these stipulations are. Happy New Year.
Yeah. Whatever with you, MJF. Yeah, whatever. The promo is good. I mean, MJF is good on the mic. He knows how to word things. He knows how to work the crowd and everything. And he wants to give us this cliffhanger until for 3 weeks until New Year's. So yeah, I don't have anything negative to say about it. It's just that's kind of a long wait for this so-called stipulation, since he didn't want to do it in Honkyville, as he called where they were tonight. So yeah, not anything else I'm going to add to it. It was a good promo, so I wouldn't call it the promo of the night, but I would say it was a good promo. So yeah, it's yours, Florio.
Yeah, MJF continues to shine on the mic. His use of the line "suffering succotash" certainly worked more than when Roman Reigns was scripted to say it in WWE a number of years ago. I was legitimately surprised when MJF fired up the crowd about the match and then didn't pull the rug out by saying no. Granted, he added that he wants stipulations and refused to unveil those on this show, but it was still a nice change of pace from the usual pro wrestling formula. So, 3 weeks from tonight, New Year's night, there's not going to be an NXT show that night. It's going to be all about AEW on New Year's night. So there's the first hook for that show right there in Jacksonville. So that's all to say about it. I mean, fine segment, absolutely. It came out really good. So that's all there is to say on that. So like them, whether we love him or we hate him, and we all hate him. We all hate his damn guts. But he cut a damn good promo here tonight. So well done in that regard. So nothing more to say on this. Michael Bullock, without being on the high horse here, just give me your thoughts on the promo here.
Yeah, it was a good promo. I mean, this is typical MJF being the total douchebag that he is, saying, you know what, I'm not gonna unveil it tonight. I'm gonna make you guys wait. So the only thing is, guys, what kind of stipulation could we see here? I really don't know. We're gonna have to wait a while before we know. So the thing is, I mean, and here's one thing that comes to my mind one that comes to my mind, guys, is I think if Cody Rhodes were to lose, MJF gets control of AEW. That's just one thought that goes through my mind. I mean, what do you think about that, Florio? I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but
I think when it comes to the stipulation, I don't know what the stipulation would be if Cody were to lose, but I think the stipulation is if Cody wins, then that whole thing about him not getting a world title shot ever again, gone. He'll be allowed, he'll be eligible to challenge for the world title again. Just my thought.
I wouldn't be surprised about that either, but we're just gonna have to wait a while here. So there's really nothing more that needs to be said here. So let's move right along, Florio.
Yeah. And I came across something interesting, and I'll address that in just a short. But we got a women's match here. We got Big Swole squaring off against Emi Sakura, and Big Swole wins the match, 10.5 minutes. This was about 2.5 to 3 stars. Beating Sakura might mean something to the super fans who follow her work in Japan, but she's lost as many matches as she's won in AEW, so it just didn't feel all that meaningful. That said, I like the signing of Big Swole. It would be nice to hear more from the women and see the newcomers featured in introductory video packages like we see on NXT all the time. So, solid effort. Still not that overly spectacular effort from the women, but it was still solid nonetheless. So, I'll give this about 2.5 to 3. So, nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, your thoughts on this women's match?
What did you rate it, Florio?
I rated it 2.5 to 3. What do you say? You agree? Do you disagree? What?
I would say 2.5 to 3. I do agree with you on that. I mean, it's not the best, but it's still a little step in the right direction when it comes to the women here. So yeah, but the women still have a lot of work to do if they really want to take if we really want to take this whole thing with the women very seriously. So that's just how I feel on it. So Dee Dee Woodson, it's yours.
You know that's contagious, don't you, Bullock?
Huh?
The yawning, you know that's contagious, don't you?
Uh, hey, I can't help it sometimes.
Yeah, I've had a long day too. I think we all three have. So yeah, I can double that sentiment on the yawning. Okay, back to the match. I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. The ladies did all right. It was a solid match. Um, the we're a good pairing together, but it was just a little bit long. I think it should have been a little shorter than that, and maybe it would have been a little bit better. Yeah, they do need to work a little bit harder on the ladies' matches, but the Japanese wrestlers that they have in AEW, I hate to say they're better than some of the American wrestlers they have in AEW. So not much else I'm going to say. It's yours, Florio.
All right. Moving on. Tag team action here. We had Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page squaring off against Shawn Spears and Kip Sabian with this beautiful young lady by the name of Superbad Penelope Ford. And oh my word, did she impress in this match. Oh my goodness. But nonetheless, even with that, Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, they win the match, 11 minutes and 35 seconds. Michael Bullock, if you noticed during this match, we saw quite a bit of involvement from Superbad Penelope Ford. And if I'm going to be honest with you, she kind of reminded me a little bit of a Zelina Vega almost.
I think she does. She definitely does when it comes to that. I mean, she's been known to not be afraid to get involved, and she certainly had her fair share of it. So yeah. So when it comes to this match, I'll give it about another. I'll give it an even 3 stars for the rating on the match. I mean, it was a good match. Yeah, and an odd team with Hangman Page and Kenny Omega here. So yeah, there's really nothing more that really needs to be said. I thought it was a good match, and yeah, who knows? Maybe we might see more of her in this if she gets involved in some of these tag team matches. So nothing more to say. Dee Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I agree. It's about a 3-star match. It was a good match. And it kind of teased a little bit of maybe Adam Page doing a heel turn from him doing the blind tag there at the end. But yeah, I mean, it was a really good match. Really enjoyed it. Don't have anything negative to say, so it's yours for you.
3.25 to 3.5 stars. It was a very good match. But a couple of observations. I mean, first off, of course, Penelope Ford, like I said, she looked incredible during this match. Had some great spots, including that Zelina Vega like Hurricanrana on the Hangman. I mean, that was pretty cool. And you also notice that during the match, the lights went out, and we saw Joey Janela kidnapping Shawn Spears' manager, the legendary Tully Blanchard, which kind of reminded me of back in 2010 when Edge kidnapped the late, great Paul Bearer during his feud with Kane over the World Heavyweight Championship. We all remember that back in 2010. But the lights out gimmick was meant to be a play on the Spears entrance, but it felt a bit awkward with the lights out for as long as they were and then uneventful once they showed what was happening. But the match finish was well done with the Hangman stealing the win as they seem to be working toward a split that will lead to a feud between him and Omega. And those could be some hella fun matches if we get that down the road. So very well done, to say the very least. 3.25, 3.5 stars. Then we had the Luchasaurus squaring off against Sammy Guevara. Luchasaurus wins the match, 6 minutes and 25 seconds. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Do you want to get into this, or do you want me to just move on? It's fine with me. I don't care. Bullock, Didi?
Move on.
Move on? All right. So I assume Bullock's probably going to say move on too. Yep. Okay. All right. So I'll take it for a quick spin. It was simple and effective, and of course we all know next week Chris Jericho and the Jungle Boy will square off. So, and I'm hearing it's for the World Championship, but I don't know if that's true or not. But nonetheless, before we get into the main event, a very interesting announcement. We've all been wondering, when is the next AEW pay-per-view event going to be? Because the last one we had, of course, was last month with Full Gear. Well, circle the day of Saturday, February 29th, the final day of February 2020. It's going to be called AEW Revolution, and it's going to be in Chicago at the Wintrust Arena. So some of these matches that we're thinking about, I could see them easily going down at this event at the end of February. So mark that down. Main event of the evening, a Texas street fight to determine the number one contenders for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Santana and Ortiz of the Inner Circle, accompanied by Sammy Guevara, squaring off against the Elite's Young Bucks. Winners of the match. I do not have a time of the fall, I'm sorry to say, but the winner of the match and number one contenders for the World Tag Team Championship, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, they win the match. I don't remember who's supposed to lead off here.
I think it's Dee Woodson, because we
yeah, that sounds
because we did the cutout.
Oh yeah, that's right. So Dee Woodson, take it for a spin here. The Young Bucks winning in a wild and crazy Texas street fight.
It definitely was wild and crazy. You know, this was definitely a brawl. This, you know, it pretty much kind of started before the bell even rang. And if you saw Matt Jackson there at the end, I mean, he had bruises and cuts all over his body from this match. I mean, this was brutal. I'd say that this would be compared to, like one of the tables, ladders, and chairs matches, or some of the other hardcore matches that we've had in the past. But because this was really brutal. They were pretty beaten up at the end. But then, of course, you also had several people from Inner Circle, plus Dustin coming out and kind of getting involved at the same time. But, in the end, I feel the right team won with the Bucks winning, and it'll be good to see the Bucks versus SCU next week. I'm going to give this about 3.5 to 4 stars. I thought this was a very well done match. I mean, this definitely was a good way to end the show. So yeah, not much more I'm going to say about it. Florio, it's yours.
I agree. This was the fight of the night. 3.5 to 4 stars. I agree. I'm very surprised the Bucks went over here, if only because the street fight seemed more up the alley of Santana and Ortiz. And for that matter, I thought they would go with the typical babyface champions versus heel challengers dynamic for next week instead of the babyface versus babyface match. But I'm not going to complain about that. As SCU, they've given us some very good matches with the Bucks in the past, and this match should be a lot of fun. And all I can say is next week, when it comes to both shows, oh boy, we're gonna be having a hell of fun on Mayhem next week. Hopefully, MF will be with us for that. So that's all I can say on this. 3.5 to 4 stars. Fight of the night. Insane, wild, and crazy match. I loved it. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, your thoughts on this main event? Bullock, are you there?
Oh, I'm right here. Yeah.
Main event.
What did you give the match?
3.5 to 4.
Yeah, 3.5 to 4 for me on the main event. So, yeah, good win for the Bucks. So, yeah, there's really nothing more that needs to be said. So let's just move on to overall review.
And I'll start it off. This was about 7 to 7.5 out of 10 for me. The show was chaotic and entertaining all at the same time. The main event, hands down, was the fight of the night. The tag team match with Omega and against Sabian and Spears, that was another good match. And then the opening match was pretty good as well. So, the matches were, with the exception of Moxley's cutout there. The Moxley cutout and the Luchasaurus and Guevara. All the other matches were solid to good to great. 2 matches. Couple of good segments, especially the MJF segments. So all in all, I think this leads to about a 7 to 7.5 at least. So that's all I can say on that. Michael Bullock, come on back in. 7 to 7.5 is my rating. What says you?
Yeah, same thing with me. 7 to 7.5. You pretty much touched on everything. So let's move on to Didi.
It seems that we might have lost Didi Whitson for a moment. I don't know if she accidentally took herself out or what happened, but yeah, just next week. I mean, man alive, it's gonna be an amazing show next week. Just wondering what happened to Didi there. I don't know if she left on her own thing there. So, but nonetheless, next week it'll be at the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi, Texas, and it'll be headlined, of course, by Chris Jericho and the Jungle Boy. That's going to be going down. And all right, we got Didi back in. All right, Didi, your overall review on AEW, and then we'll move on to NXT.
Yeah, my laptop completely locked up on me, so that's pretty much what happened. I pretty much agree with y'all's rating, so I'm not going to add anything else. So let's just move on to NXT.
Oh boy, NXT time, and oh my goodness, what a way to start it off. But next week on AEW Dynamite, like I said, we're gonna see Chris Jericho against the Jungle Boy. We're gonna see SCU against the Young Bucks for the World Tag Team Championships and so much more. And I know we'll get into all that next week here on Mayhem. But now to NXT, and oh, what a way to start it off. Lio Rush defending the NXT Cruiserweight Championship against Angel Garza. Winner of the match in approximately 15 minutes and 16 seconds. And the new NXT Cruiserweight Champion, Angel Garza. He gets it done with a submission hold, nonetheless. Made Lio Rush tap out. New champion. In the immortal words of the late, great Gorilla Monsoon and good old MF Michael Fletcher, MF, this one's for you. History was made here tonight. And there's nothing left for me to say except this was, without a doubt, the fight of the night. It actually overshadowed the main event. And I can't believe I'm saying that, even though the main event was amazing too. But this stole the damn show. This was 4.25 to 4.5 stars. Holy hot fire, man. That was a nice piece of a complete match. I like to start with more aggression and brawling than we usually see in cruiserweight matches. Easily a match of the week that's hard to overcome. Rush, even though his character is a bit void at the moment, has been putting on a great match after great match. Garza is a complete package of great in-ring and it factor. Very good stuff overall. I'm hopeful this is not the end of Rush's push because we'll have to wait and see on that. But all I know is, to me, that was the cruiserweight match of the year. No other cruiserweight match is going to top that. So, well done, Lio Rush. Well done, Angel Garza. And then after the match, in a behind-the-scenes moment, as if Angel Garza's night couldn't get any bigger. I mean, winning the Cruiserweight Championship is one thing. But then he proposes to his girlfriend after the match. And we got ourselves a wedding and a wedding date. How about that? So a double big night. A 5-star night, if you will, for Angel Garza. Cruiserweight Championship. And his lady said yes. Oh, what a moment. What I wouldn't give to be Angel Garza right now. Well done, young man. Well done. 4.25, 4.5 stars. Fight of the night. Michael Bullock, it's your show. You're Mr. NXT. This has got to be a proud papa moment for you, man. Wow.
Yeah, you can't start off NXT any other way than with what we saw here. I mean, 4.5 stars. Fight of the night, without a doubt. I mean, this match was full of chock full of the absolute finest Shakespearean drama out there. I mean, both of these men laid it out laid it out in the ring here, and yeah, Angel Garza. I mean, what a night for him. I mean, wins the NXT Cruiserweight title and proposes to his girlfriend. So, yeah, what a night for him. I mean, yeah, so there's really nothing more that needs to be said. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the rating. It was definitely the fight of the night, and what better way to celebrate than to do the proposal and have her say yes there in the middle of the ring. So yeah, nothing else I have to say. It was awesome match. So it's yours, Florio.
And this night was all about the main event. And we thought that was going to steal the dang show. No, it did not. Lio Rush, Angel Garza, they stole the dang show here tonight. So, wow. A proud papa moment for Bullock because it's NXT, and one for me because I'm the cruiserweight guy. So, man, that was awesome. So, all right. How do we recover from that? Well, we do have a cutout here, thankfully. Cameron Grimes, Raul Mendoza, and Raul Mendoza picks up the win in 1 minute and 13 seconds after a distraction by Kushida. So nothing more to say on that. And then another cutout here. They were as a preview of the upcoming Worlds Collide event, which is going to take place the night before the Royal Rumble, Saturday night, January 25th of 2020 at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. Jackson Riker. It's not often we get to see Jackson Riker in a match. He was accompanied by his Forgotten Sons, brethren of Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake. And he went up against NXT UK's Kiwi Buzzsaw, Travis Banks. And Travis Banks picks up the win, 2 minutes and 46 seconds. So very nice, to say the very least. And it made sense for Banks to get the win because they were advertising NXT UK and Worlds Collide. The Worlds Collide event is going to be NXT versus NXT UK. So I know Michael Bullock's going to have a very vested interest in that show come January 25. So nothing more to say on this. Now we move on to another one of the big matches of the night. The second of the 3 big main event matches. Mia Yim squaring off against Dakota Kai. And Dakota Kai picks up the win in approximately 6 minutes and 50 seconds of on-air TV time. Michael Bullock, it may have been a lot shorter than we thought, but still a solid outing between these two. I mean, and Dakota Kai, I know she's not anyone's favorite right now, especially Bullock, but man, what else is there to say? So Bullock, what did you think of the match? Dakota Kai and Mia Yim.
It was a little too short. I was hoping for a little bit more, but in the time it did get, I'm gonna give this about maybe. I'll give it about maybe 2.25, 2.5 for the effort. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, Dakota Kai had to cheat to win when she took the padding off the turnbuckle, and basically Mia Yim's head hit it, and she picked up the win. I mean, yeah, Dakota Kai continuing to show her true colors, that Jezebel that she is. Well, you know what happens for you when you cheat. You cheat, what happens?
You want to cheat, you're gonna pay for it.
And exactly, and that's what happened to Dakota Kai. Mia Yim was on the attack and basically put her right through a table, right off the. I mean, very high, and boy, Mauro Ranallo lost his mind on that one. So, yeah, Dakota Kai got her comeuppance, and let's just say she deserved every bit of that. And if you thought what Mia Yim did to Dakota Kai was bad, well, I mean, let's just say when Tegan Knox returns from her injury, that's nothing to compare what Tegan Knox is going to do to Dakota Kai. And yeah, the payback and the beatings are forthcoming, Dakota Kai. It's going to continue on and on. And as the old saying goes, Florio, you made your bed, you might as well lie in it. And it's going to continue for you. So nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, Dakota Kai got a trip to the woodshed, and she got beat up big time by Mia Yim.
Yep, and if I was there, I would have been right with Mia, just taking it to her. But of course, that's not going to happen. So yeah, I'm going to give it about 3.25 stars. I thought it was a very good match, and I don't see this feud ending. I think they're going to continue this until I don't know if they'll continue until Tegan comes back, but I think they'll continue this for at least a little while until Mia gets her chance to actually take down Dakota. But this is a good win for Dakota to kind of cement the fact that she is a heel, and the after attack with Mia pretty much kind of showed how frustrated she was that she didn't get the pinfall. So not much more I have to say about it. It's yours, Florio. Did we lose Florio? Bullock, are you there? There he is.
Connection dropped for a moment, so
it's yours.
Yep, I'm ready. So, 2.5 to 3 stars for this. I was a little underwhelmed. However, this was a good and aggressive match. Mia Yim is really hitting her stride as a blazing, badass protagonist. She's found it in the ring and found her voice on the mic. Mixed thoughts on Dakota Kai. She's really good as a heel, but I also fear that if she takes too many losses, she might end up as a female version of Shane Thorne as a chicken bleep heel who is there to take a ton of losses to the stars. We do know we have a Kai versus Knox feud in the wings, so that's not happening soon. So, we'll have to wait and see on that. So, 2.5 to 3 for that. Another cutout match here, Breezango against the Singh brothers. That's going to put them butts in the seats. The toilet seats. Hey-o. Sorry to say that, but it's true. Breezango wins the match, 4 minutes and 16 seconds. The match was awful, but NXT's tag division is in rebuild mode after the other shows war-rated NXT's tag division. So that's really all there is to say on that. And then we had another somewhat of a cutout here. Bianca Belair against Kaden Carter. Bianca Belair wins the match, 4 minutes and 51 seconds. Do you guys want to get into this, or if you want, I'll move on. It's okay. It's up to you. It's fine.
Move on.
Move on.
All right, move on. But you guys may want to move on, but I'm actually going to take this for a spin for a moment. I'm going to give it about 2 to 2.5 for the effort. This might have been the most competitive we've seen Carter in NXT. Belair's the bigger star, and she allowed Carter to be elevated by having her deliver so much offense. I'm not sure what NXT does with Belair next because she's been in a holding pattern for a long, long time. She was even filler in the War Games and Survivor Series matches. Maybe make a trade with Raw and SmackDown? I trade Bianca Belair for Kairi Sane in an even value trade for 2 miscast wrestlers. Once Kairi and Asuka drop the women's tag team titles, which could be Sunday night, you never know. But, we'll wait and see. But now we get to the main event. The highly anticipated main event, the triple threat match to determine the number 1 contender for the NXT Championship. Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Finn Balor. When all was said and done, the winner of the match, just bear with me here. I just need to do a quick refresh here. In approximately 14 minutes and 35 seconds of on-air TV time, the winner of the match and the number 1 contender for the NXT Championship, Finn Balor. Finn Balor gets it done. I believe Didi Woodson leads off on this. So Didi Woodson, next week, Adam Cole, Finn Balor, NXT Championship. Oh, boy.
Oh, this is going to be awesome. I really enjoy both these guys' bodies of work. So it's going to be, really great to see Finn Balor going up against Adam Cole. But as for this match here, I'm going to give it about 3 3/4 of a star. I mean, these guys did a great job. As we said, not as great as the opener, but still, they brought it to the table. They did not hold back. They gave us, a main event that we could actually enjoy, and ended the show on a very high note. So yeah, I think they did a great job. The 3 of them, fall after fall. So yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about it. I think the best person won, and they've got the best match set up now between Cole and Balor. So we'll see what happens there. Florio, it's yours.
Second best. It's the second best fight of the night for me. While the opening match was strong in terms of work rate, this was a fun main event nonetheless, with a good showcase of NXT's main eventers. The styles of all 3 men meshed very well, and the near falls in the end were very solid, with Balor sneaking in his finisher, the coup de grace, on Keith Lee to give Keith Lee some level of protection in this match. I really didn't expect Lee to be the one pinned given Lee's elevation in recent weeks, but it sets up an interesting heel versus heel matchup between Finn Balor and Adam Cole next week. And given Finn Balor's past status as a Raw and SmackDown main eventer, I can see a bit of doubt in Cole retaining being a foregone conclusion. So that's really That's really all I can say on that. So before I give it to Bullock, one other quick thing. This was a 3.5, about 3.5 to 4 for the match. This was easily the second best fight of the night, only behind that epic cruiserweight match. But I'll be honest with you, going into this match, I actually had Tommaso Ciampa winning this match, given the history of what's been going on. But I got a feeling they're gonna be saving that for the next takeover in February. I really do. I think Cole and Ciampa are gonna headline Takeover Portland on February 16th on that Sunday night, the first ever Sunday night takeover. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But we'll have to wait and see. But if I'm going to be honest with you, well, I'll get into the big double main event for next week in just a moment when we get to our overall reviews. So, but for me, this was 3.5 to 4 stars. Surprising outcome. I really didn't think Balor was going to win this match. I knew it wasn't going to be Keith Lee. I mean, because when it comes to Keith Lee, it's too soon for him, even though he's been getting pushed to the moon and in the last several weeks and months. I really thought Ciampa was going to win this because, I mean, Balor's had it before, but hey, I'll take it though. I mean, you remember when Finn Balor made that surprise appearance on NXT a number of weeks ago, he and Adam Cole had that stare down, and well, you remember the night when Finn Balor said he was NXT. We've been thinking about this match for some time, and we were wondering were they ever going to do it. Well, guess what? They're going to do it, and they're going to do it next week. Oh boy! So get ready. 3.5 to 4. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock. I mean, Adam Cole, Finn Balor, NXT Championship. What are you thinking about, man? What are you thinking about it, Mr. NXT? Oh.
Man, oh man, this ought to be something good. But to be quite honest with you, Florio, I was actually hoping Keith Lee would win it. I mean, that's what I was thinking because
he was getting because of the elevation. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. I mean, he was getting elevated. He was getting that push, and I thought the best way to elevate him even more was to have him go over and face Adam Cole for the NXT title. But maybe they're trying to take it easy on him a little bit. Maybe he'll get one somewhere down the line. But man, this is a match I definitely am looking forward to seeing. Finn Balor, Adam Cole for the NXT Championship. Man, NXT next week is really looking really good with that and the NXT Women's title match. Boy, I can't wait. As far as the match goes, I do agree it's a 4-star match. Second best fight of the night, so nothing more to say. Florio, let's move on to the overall review.
Despite the cutouts, despite the number of cutouts here, I'm going to say NXT just wins it here. I'm going to give this about maybe a solid 7.5 to 8, mainly because of that epic cruiserweight match. I mean, unreal. I mean, NXT continues to settle into its new 2-hour formula, and that 2-hour formula is a good amount of entertaining combined with efficiency. Without having to build towards 2 pay-per-views, WWE can sprinkle a lot of backstage promos and interviews. Credit to whoever's producing the Finn Balor promos. That's how they should be doing Aleister Black's promos on Raw. The other promos throughout the show were solid too. Even that Shayna Baszler one about her 1969 Ford Mustang. But this was a very good show, headlined by, without question, maybe the best WWE Cruiserweight Championship match I've ever seen. And Angel Garza and Lio Rush, man. That's going to be one tough act to follow. I mean, boy, howdy. Those two boys tore it up. So, wow, what a night. And the main event delivered, of course. And, couple of solid women's matches, and everything else was just sort of there. So this is a 7.5, teetering on 8. So that's really all there is to say on that. I would say maybe a slight edge to the NXT over AEW, even though AEW produced a solid show as well. So those two huge stocking stuffers next week, and I'm very curious to know, Bullock and Didi, if you agree with me on this. I think one title will change hands and the other will not. And I think the one title that will change hands, I think the women's championship will change hands. I think Rhea Ripley is going to beat Shayna Baszler, end her reign of dominance and terror, and walk out the new NXT Women's Champion. Whereas I see Adam Cole successfully defending the NXT Championship against Finn Balor, because I think they're going to want to do Cole and Ciampa at TakeOver Portland in February on that Sunday night. So I'll be very curious to hear what both of you have to say in your overall review regarding that matter. So get ready, folks. Two huge stocking stuffers next Wednesday night, with Shayna Baszler and Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship, and Adam Cole and Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. Merry Christmas. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, 7.5, teetering on 8, slight edge to NXT over AEW this week.
Yeah, I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. I think this was definitely this is a slightly better show than AEW. Not to say that AEW was bad. I mean, it was a good show too, but what put it over was that NXT Cruiserweight title match that kicked off the show, and that turned out to be the fight of the night. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, Rhea Ripley, Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's title next week, Adam Cole, Finn Balor for the NXT title, and I do agree with you, Florio. I think the NXT Women's title is going to change hands. Rhea Ripley is on a roll, and I think she's going to. I think it's all going to culminate next week with her ending the long dominant reign of Shayna Baszler and becoming your new NXT Women's Champion. Whereas Adam Cole is still going to be the NXT Champion. So, yeah, can't wait for next week. It should be a fun show. So, nothing more to say. Didi Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a solid 8. I think it was a very good show tonight, even with cutouts. Definitely won the night for the Wars. As for the two championships, yeah, I can see the women's champion changing hands. I'd like to see Balor get the title off of Cole, but I don't think that's going to happen. I pretty much kind of agree. I think they're going to go for Cole versus Ciampa at the next pay-per-view. So, yeah, I don't have much else to say, so it's yours, Florio.
All right, and that will put the bow on this edition of Wednesday Night Mayhem. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. We will be back with you. Time to be determined. It'll be either 9:30 or 10. I really should see how MF feels about it, but we're leaning towards somewhere between 9:30 and 10 tomorrow night for NFL Thursday. And we're going to do something very special in addition. At the start of the show, we are going to preview the most prestigious college football game of the year, that being the legendary Army-Navy game. Navy is ranked. They're number 23. So I feel we should preview that game along with all the other action of Week 15 of the NFL. We got some great matchups to get into, including the Chicago Bears against the Green Bay Packers. We'll also get into the LA Rams against the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, my Buffalo Bills against the Pittsburgh Steelers on that Sunday Night Football game. And then, of course, all the other great action of Week 15. We'll get into all that tomorrow night. And then Friday night, Cerebral Smack Talk immediately following Friday Night SmackDown. I'll be hosting again for MF. MF will be having work commitments that night as well. So myself, Bullock, and Didi will be with you again on Friday for that show. We'll review Friday Night SmackDown, and then after that, we will preview the WWE Tables, Ladders, and Chairs pay-per-view that will go down on Sunday. And then Sunday night, immediately following the pay-per-view, hopefully MF will be ready, and we'll have MF back, and we'll have him, lead the way when it comes to our TLC recap show. So we'll see about that. So there you have it. So until tomorrow night for NFL Thursday, it's Anthony Florio here for the Phenom Michael Bullock, for the Twisted Angel Didi Woodson, and in spirit, good old MF Michael Fletcher, and always and forever, the Hardcore Pipe Bomb, DF from RI 401, Derek Ferreira. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune Forest style. Bye for now, my dear friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Thursday. And until tomorrow night for NFL Thursday, you've been watching, at least for this week only, Wednesday Night Mayhem right here on the Tone 25, here on YouTube and StreamYard.com. And remember, no matter what anyone tells you, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody, bye.